Hey everyone, welcome to this daily Sidereal Astrology forecast for Monday, March 2nd, 2020. Alright, so today we have the moon in resourceful Taurus, which was the theme yesterday on Sunday as well. So a good day for cultivating the side of ourself that is self-reliant, building upon our inner strengths, inner resourcefulness, and perhaps connecting to the outer resources in life and nature. Could be a great way of working with this part of the lunar cycle. Now, the part that we're in is the first quarter phase of the cycle. Last Sunday, we had a new moon a week ago. And so now a good time to start to challenge ourselves. What have been some new things that have come into our life from a week ago that maybe now we can buckle down with, set some intention with, maybe challenge ourselves to develop here in this lunar month. Now, going into tomorrow, we do have Venus squaring up to Saturn, so we'll likely feel this the later part of the day. But good for maybe bringing in some patience, some discipline when it comes to our enjoyments and our relationships in life. All right, so let's take a look at all of this here in more detail or return. All right, so here's the sky for this Monday. And again, we are using the actual size of the constellations called True Sidereal Astrology. If you are new to the channel, definitely check out that link down below for more information. All right, so we have the moon well set in Taurus here today, which was also the theme yesterday, suggesting that this phase of the lunar cycle is now good to develop our inner and outer resources. So Taurus the bull is the side of ourself that is cultivating that inner strength, self-reliance, even our natural gifts and natural abilities, right? Developing and cultivating those inner resources. But also a good time of cultivating our external resources, being grateful for what we have on a material level, connecting to nature, connecting to our senses and the enjoyments of life can be really good during this phase. Now, the phase we're in is the first quarter phase, which means that the sun and moon are in a square and that the location of the sun is in a very different constellation from Taurus, where the moon is. So in this case, the sun is in Progressive Aquarius. So the larger context and what this whole lunar cycle is about cultivating our future visions. And so it's still really good to focus on what are our visions for the future, what invokes that sense of freedom in our life, how can we induce some change, challenge our own status quo, but also maybe challenge the status quo. It's a good time of contributing and thinking outside the box and doing things that we know will induce some change, both for ourselves and the collective or community. So great to be focused on that, but as you can tell by the descriptions that these are very different constellations. This progressive energy is very different from this grounded, resourceful energy. So that's the challenge. How can we, this part of the week, now integrate both the grounded resourcefulness while at the same time cultivate things that have started a week ago in regards to having more freedom, change, and perhaps cultivating those future visions in this larger cycle. Now, Mercury is, of course, still retrograde here in Aquarius, so good to be rethinking these visions and rethinking what does excite us and where we can contribute during this retrograde. So in terms of the aspects, what we have is at the later part of the day, which most of you in the West will feel this the most. For the rest of us, we'll feel it especially tomorrow. But Venus will start to square up to Saturn. So this is where Venus, the planet of our enjoyments in life, our values, also the ruler of Taurus, which rules again those resources, values, enjoyments, and in this case also relationships. In this square with Saturn, suggesting that it is good to bring in some of the long-term approach when it does come to these enjoyments, right? So being disciplined with what we're enjoying today, seeing what's going to benefit us in the long term, and also with relationships. How can we, look at the long-term approach, what's going to benefit our relationship life, and bring in a bit of that, maybe patience, responsibility, discipline would be a really good way of working with this square. And as a result, this becomes a very constructive time, in fact, where our values and relationships do get this nice, steady, patient discipline, and maybe some things built for the long term there with those. So great to set those kinds of intentions with that square. All right, so other than that, just a quick recap. We do have Mars still in fiery Sagittarius. So when we are taking action, it is good to maybe expand our horizons a little bit, see what inspires us, listen to that spirit for life, maybe a bit of adventurousness or philosophical, abstract energy. Really good to put energy into these more expansive things in life and taking initiative towards some of these abstract or expansive matters. Along with that, of course, Venus is in Pisces still. So when it does come to those values and relationships, really good for really accepting what is, being present with our enjoyments, being grateful, also with our relationships, that receptive energy, really good to cultivate at this time there as well. All right, and so that's the day in a nutshell. Most important thing is the larger cycle, of course, where we have this development of Aquarius this lunar month, our visionary side, and our unorthodox and contributing side, which is, of course, still going through a reworking process with Mercury retrograde. But how can we incorporate that progressive energy while today developing our inner and outer resources, taking the slow, steady, grounded approach and cultivating that inner strength with the moon in Taurus. All right, so everyone have a fantastic day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow for the next daily forecast. Take care.